Alright, so this is the most on-the-fly video I will ever have made for YouTube, probably, and probably going to be the most personal. So here we go. I have been on some kind of weird, like, not necessarily uncharacteristic, but just like I just feel like, without trying to aggrandize myself, but I feel like I understand why people, like prophets and things, would like go into the mountains or like certain uh, groups of people would send someone alone off into the woods, until they came to some realization, and I used to always think, like, what? Like, so what if you're just wandering around for 40 years? I am 36. Haha. So anyway, I feel like I've spent like the last 4 weeks, this month especially, which is the last 4 weeks, just like in just like making all kinds of just in some kind of spiritual headspace, just reevaluating everything, coming to all of these weird conclusions and like these epiphanies about myself. About myself and my life and all of the negative things that have happened to me, and why I have like the issues that I have, and try and how that just replicates itself into everything in my life. And welcome to quarantine. So I'm on my second journal. I'm already 60 pages written in, because and I can't even write down most of the time what, like, if it's really intense and I'm just really like having all these light bulb moments and I'm just seeing this pattern start to play out in it, and the lesson, let's just cut to the chase. But if it's really intense, I can't write it down because writing slows me down. And so, lighting is so wonderful right now. Ugh. Okay. Great. The light's out of my face. So, anyway, if anyone wants to know, the conclusion is that all of your pain you caused, in a way, partly. You partly continue to cause. If you were, even if someone preyed upon you in total innocence, you at least that's what I'm realizing. And it sounds, and I always hear people say that, and you get so indignant, like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, what the fuck do you mean? But anyway, I'm not gonna cry. So one fun thing that one topic that I have been reevaluating is like the idea that I really had, how my views of love were so screwed, were so kind of, even though I came from such a pure place all the time, but what I thought about love, so much of it was connected to my experience as a child and growing up, like, just unconsciously, and then just, it was just all out of balance. And so I thought, you know what I'm gonna do, because I was going through a period recently, like, literally I've been in contact with like almost all of my ex-boyfriends from adulthood, and just like had this conversation, like, can we talk about what went wrong? I feel like some kind of, like, standard TV show or something. It sounds like a stereotypical situation, and maybe I'm just going through it so I can say, now I know what it's like when you're a human and this happens in your 30s. So anyway, and so now I feel like I have a sense of closure. I honestly do, with all of my major relationships, and even to the point where I understand now that I made major mistakes as well. And we both did, but we both just had lessons that we both really needed to learn, that connected us. And anyway, but so I thought I was in a really good place. I was like, wow, after every like kind of big tower moment, I think I'm in a really good place, and I feel stronger, and I do, and I feel like I'm like recovering, and you know, remembering what it's like to like who I am, you know, apart from all of this terrible shit that the world like puts on your face in front of your eyes, and you finally can start to sort through that, and you're like, oh, okay, this is, here I am, this is right. So anyway, so like today, yesterday and today, I've just been in such a funk, you know, just out of nowhere, and I just feel like that I can put myself back into any situation with any significant relationship in my life, and like just start to cry, you know, and just start to immediately go there, and I don't want to do that anymore, you know, I don't want to do that anymore. And so okay, so one of my exes, a long time ago, after we had stopped dating, told me, because we like worked together, whatever, that him and another ex of mine, because they were friends, and you know how it is when you're young, and had gotten together and burnt all of the stuff from their relationships with me. And I tried not to be horrified when he told me this. I was like, oh my God, like, do you hate me? Like, what? Why would you, like, and this is the point, because I still have, I got out my caboodle here, which I got from the early 90s as a young girl, and I've kept my trinkets in it. And I have every love note every boy has ever sent me in here. And I don't like read them every year. I probably read through them once in my life, maybe twice, you know, like when I put them all away, and then I don't remember what I did as a teenager, but my point is that I still have all of these, and I kept them because they were precious to me. They really were precious. But I was like, why am I so attached? Why am I so attached to like the idea that there's proof that people love me? Why does that mean so much to me that these people saw beautiful things or whatever? And you know, like, why do I get so emotional thinking about how that was once there and now it's gone? You know, why do I get so emotional about that? And I'm not going to sit here and psycho-evaluate myself in front of you guys, because, you know, a lot of it goes back to your childhood issues and abandonment and all that kind of shit. But what I was going to do as an exercise, and what I thought this video was going to be, was, and maybe it will be, who knows how long it's already 8 minutes, but was I was going to go through all of these little notes that I've kept and read them and burn them, and as like a release, you know, like, thank you for the happiness and the lessons that we shared, and now you may go, and now, because I am okay without like having to have proof of someone's approval of me. I don't know, maybe this might not be right, I don't know, I'm just trying to figure this out, because I don't want to like just be burdened with sadness, and my sadness I'm not talking about, oh, mama's sadness has just been boys, you know, it's just, was just one facet that I was on yesterday and feeling a really a big funk about, and just so tired of it. Like, I don't want to be in a funk about love anymore. You know? And so anyway, so I got these notes out, and I started to read through a few of them, and every one of them so far I have just found some kind of evidence in the letter that I'm just like, oh my God, that just like proves some kind of hilarious falsehood or wound that I didn't know that I had, you know, that I was, I don't know, looking for in love, I don't know, okay. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm even going to read this. Here's what I will do. I'm going to read these letters on my own, and get rid of them. Hopefully I will. But what I did find is, for some reason, I found a letter that I wrote myself to an ex-boyfriend that I was with for a very long time, and why I kept this, I don't know. I don't know if this is an accident, that it got mixed up in here. I don't know. But I will read this to you guys, because this isn't betraying anyone's trust, because I wrote this. This video is already going to be too long. But I'm going to read this, and I really meant this. And there's so many horrifying things in this. Accidentally horrifying things. Okay. So this letter is for Valentine's Day, and it says, so embarrassing. Okay. This is good. This is good. Here we go. I just want to tell you that you have been the best part of my life. Aw, very sweet. I feel so lucky every day to have found you. Even if nothing else extraordinary happens, even if I work at this local place and live in poverty without internet for the rest of my life, I would die happy being with you. That's fucking ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Do we have no self-respect? Like, that's good. I said that because that's what I was doing at that time. And I'm like, I don't wish anything else for myself. What? Oh my God. Like, seriously? Like, would you want, think of like if you had like a friend or your daughter's son, I don't know. And they're just in this terrible, I mean, it's not, I've been poor a lot. And there are a lot of, you really get sharpened, you know, your character really is allowed to sharpen and form, and there's a lot of beauty in simplicity, all that shit, blah blah blah. But at the same time, like, come on, like I'm willing to stay in the like. Why don't I think I deserve more? That's the point. Why didn't I think I deserved more? Because I was so desperate for this person's love that I was willing to sacrifice, like, and I think that's the lesson I had, like, one of the many, you know, like, no, you should not sacrifice yourself. Like, you should not, love would not ask you to sacrifice yourself, you know. You would think love would let you go before that happens. You know, it's like, that's why it's so incredible, like, when someone, like, jumps in front of a bullet or something to save someone else, you know, because that shouldn't be an everyday occurrence, you know, like, a love relationship should be where both people are thriving, you know, if otherwise something's not working, right? I'm getting way too off topic, but anyway, that's ridiculous. The point is self-respect. I had no self-respect. I just, like, was just like, oh, it doesn't matter. And I just, like, reveled in it, you know. Oh, all I needed to be in love with this person, and these, you know, these earthly things don't matter. And it's just like, it's not about that. It's just that it's about a bigger picture, you know, like, just learning. Here you go, guys. All right. I'm doing this so you don't have to. That's why we're doing this. I was only like the first run-on sentence. Okay, here we go. Ready? Blah blah blah. Okay, gosh, my life changed. I changed 8 years ago when we met. So this was 8 years in our relationship. I found hope again in life. That's pretty, I mean, what a burden to have someone else carry. I found hope again in life because of you. Like, I found hope again in life because we have what was fabled to exist. We really love each other. You know, okay, that's better than you, but, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. I feel a little iffy about that one. It's just that when you attach like your will to live to another person, I mean that weight is going to start to carry on that person, and you're going to get let down because you're not in control of your own fucking happiness. These are the lessons I know now. I know these things now. Oh wow, it's just that I was so used to that love means sacrifice. That love means you endure shit. That's what it means. So bring it on, and um it's just, do you see what I mean? It's not like it's totally incorrect, but it's just skewed. It's like I forgot about other parts. Like there should be balance. I don't know. Let's move on. We're almost done. This is really not that long of a letter. Even though it is, I mean, it's still very well-meaning, and I really was in love with this person. I love you more now than I ever have. I love you more each day. Okay, here's the freaky part. Okay, so you're reading this Valentine's Day thing. I did not, this sounds so creepy to me now. Okay, so if something would happen and we never saw each other again, know that you were the most beautiful person I've ever known, and you have made me so happy. Just, okay, I'm not going to read that last part. It's a whole other subject. But, what? Like, are you, like, foreboding something? Like, what? I just want you to know that if I should die tomorrow, I don't know if I will. like, what in the world are you talking about? Like, why are you talking about some drastic thing? The point is that, I considered these things, and that's why I think I clung on to it so much, is because I did have things in my childhood where it was just drastic things would happen, and then you would lose someone or something, and it was almost like you had no control, and so I just grasped onto it so dearly, because I was just like, oh my God, you don't know how long it's gonna be here. Afraid that it would never come around again. And that's the thing, is that first of all, if you have self-love within yourself, then you don't have to depend on someone else to provide you with that. And because who the fuck, I mean, I think it's what we all need to learn. You can't make someone else happy. Like, you try so hard, just, I don't know. I think we should just learn how to make ourselves happy in a very spiritual kind of way, and where we feel like a balanced, healthy person, a strong person, and then it's like this is one big sparkler. This is another big sparkler, and they're both shining real bright, and they come together and they make an even bigger sparkle, But what should not happen is if you have your spark going and someone down here just has a spark that's just, so you guys come together, and then it brings that person's spark up, but your spark goes down. You see what I'm saying? I'm such a dork. Okay. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just talking. Just talking. This doesn't mean anything. I'm still figuring shit out. I don't know how long this sabbatical from life that we're all taking is going to last. Okay, so that's creepy that would be in there. I bet you all of my boyfriends heard things from this, like this, in my letters. I did not know that I was leaving clues of my wounded childhood in my letters to, like, boyfriends. I didn't know that I just thought that was just whimsical and love and whatever, and I don't know, creepy. Okay, last part. Here's the one that shows my screwed up idea or acceptance of what I thought love was. Okay, I have ever what is it? You are the most beautiful person I've ever known, and you have made me so happy just allowing me to love and be loved by you, my best friend. Happy Valentine's Day. I don't like that. I don't like that word. I don't like that word. It's just I thought the fact that I thought it was clever and sweet, and now it just sounds like thank you for giving me permission to have this experience. Like it sounds so unequal. It's like I'm just like um, accepting some kind of receiver subordinate. Like I know you don't really want to be here, maybe. I don't know. There's so many things wrong with that word. Just allowing me to love and be loved by you. I'll have to think about better words. I don't know. I guess the lesson I've learned is in regards to relationships, one of the hundreds is that I am so glad that I did not marry, this is going to be controversial maybe, but I'm so glad I did not marry the first guy I ever dated, or the guy that I was, I don't know, the first guy. Do you see what I'm saying? I do feel like even though it is true too, like in Christian circles, they scare you. Every time you fall in love, you give away a piece of your heart, and so when you meet the one, this is what they tell you if you don't know, at least where I'm from, then you're going to be less like whole. You're going to be like you're going to be like wounded, and they're going to be pure as snow, and so you're not going to be worthy, and so, it just plays into so many cultural, terrible, stereotypical themes of purity and impurity and whatever. So anyway, I don't want to get into that. What was I even saying? Oh, about what I was learning from relationships is that I am so glad that I kept learning. I'm glad that I mean I've dated as an adult. I have. It's so hard. I'm gonna make up my own rules. But in my mind, I've dated 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had 4 relationships, 4 major relationships. 2 other guys, maybe 3 that weren't real relationships. Just kind of dated for a second and then petered out, or for reasons. It wasn't that thing. But and I'm glad, I don't regret that I'm my age and not married. I don't regret that I dated any of those dudes. If all of them were standing in this kitchen, I'd be like, you guys are the coolest. I love all you guys. I really do. I bet you they'd all like each other. I bet you they'd all be really good friends because you start to see variations of your type and because you learn and whatever. But and I do feel like that you get to grow. You get to grow. That's a benefit. It's just a pro and con. It depends on what you're comfortable with and what you like, I guess. I guess growth has been a very big kind of subconscious motivation for me throughout my life. And I've unknowingly, with different choices, been trying to protect that for myself forever. And without realizing that, it was just that, when I felt like I couldn't grow, then I broke free, when I felt like my life force was being snuffed out. And I'm not trying to say that as far as say that I'm cool or whatever. I understand very well. I studied a lot of social sciences. It's almost as if some people are just born with certain amounts of resilience. Some people are just born with different. I'm not I have a lot of. At least, that's just the one thing I can say about myself is that I'm so happy that I realize now, and that's made me is that And maybe everyone's like that, and not everyone gets a chance to be pushed that far. And so maybe I'm just lucky to know that if I'm being crushed, I will save myself. I might let it go on a little too long and wait, and that's the lesson I think that I'm getting better at, is learning to let go sooner, not being afraid to let go of things that aren't for anyone's best highest good anymore, or that and it just you just think about it like that. I don't know. I just let go of all of my thinking is not within the confines of social rules or whatever. It's just trying to think about goodness and freedom and life as people. I don't know. So thank you for this very embarrassing episode. Thank you for joining me in Jamie's adventure time and when she learns about love. Goodbye.